What's up? We're gonna give you a little bit of crack of a thing. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about, but that took me off guard for a second. I don't know why I started off like that. But I'm here to break down UFC Fight Night, Fiziev versus Torres, full card prediction starting off the list. Tahir Abduliev versus Jefferson Nascimento. I'm gonna go with Tahir Abduliev here. Why exactly? I don't really have the best reason because they're both very well rounded. It's just I think Tahir Abduliev has a little bit better striking, not too much. I just kind of favor the power a little bit more than Nascimento. You know, like I don't know. It's Brazilian versus a dude that kind of looks foreign, and I'm going to favor the dude that looks a little bit more daggy, even though he's not really a daggy, you know? That might be a little bit of a casual take for me, but like Abduliev can grapple. It's not like he can't grapple at all. It's not like he's a bum of a thing, you know? Like he can grapple. I can see him taking down Nascimento in the later rounds where like Nascimento is starting to gas out. You know, like Nascimento has taken this fight on short notice, so I can see it being a very big factor in this matchup, in my opinion, because is it going to be looking the same in round 2 and 3? I don't think so. So I think Abduliev is going to start taking him down when like he's kind of losing the striking exchanges, keeping him there, landing ground and pound or chasing a submission like late round 3-ish or like early, well, not early, but like round 2-ish. I can see that happening. So I'm going to go Nascimento. I'm going to go Abduliev winning either a decision victory here or a second round finish by ground and pound. So that's my picks. I want to know what you guys are going to pick for this one, but it is a little bit of a tricky matchup here. So, but yeah, moving on to the next one. Beksa Almakhan versus Gene Mazumoto. I'm going to go with Beksa here. Not too confident, mostly because of the grappling threat of Mazumoto, but it's just with Mazumoto. I don't think he's an Umar level fighter, you know? Like, I don't know if he's going to be like Umar, where he's going to hold down Almakhan on the ground and keep him there. I don't see that happening. So I'm going to go Almakhan, either knocking him out in round 2 or getting like a decision victory on damage. Like I see him like having a good round 1, round 2, and then like round 3, that's where he looks a little iffy, but he wins on damage. So I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to win a decision victory here or a second round finish. So Almakhan by decision or finish. Now moving on to the next one. Daniel Donchenko versus Theodore Bergeron. I'm not really too sure if I said his name right, but I'm not going to repeat it. So I'm going to go with Daniel Donchenko here. Not too confident to pick because Daniel Donchenko, I did not like how he couldn't finish Alex Morono. Even though it was a little bit dominant, there was moments where like Alex Morono was doing his thing for a bit, which is going to be very worrisome when I think Theodore is pretty decent, you know? Like, Theodore is not that bad of a fighter, but he is taking this fight on short notice, which is going to hinder him a bit. And I think Daniel Donchenko will get a finish in round 2 or win a decision victory here. I can see like a 2-1 decision, very close, but Daniel Donchenko is just going to do a little bit more with the damage. So I'm going to go with Daniel Donchenko, either finish him in the first 2 rounds or win a decision victory here. Now moving on to the next one. Kenan Ofli versus Javier Reyes. I'm going to go with Javier Reyes on this one. Not too confident in the pick because Javier Reyes, what I've seen of him, I'm not really that impressed by him, like anything really. But then again, I only saw his Dana White Contender Series fight. I didn't really see his regional reign or his fights there, so I can't really say too much. But what I've seen of him, I think he's going to get dominated early in the first round. And then when round 2 hits, he finally finds his range. And then he's going to chin Ofli with like a straight punch or like a hook. I can see that happening. Oakley out cold after doing really well in the first round. Gets cold in the second. So that's pretty much it. Moving on to the next one. Nursultan Ruziboyev versus Andre Puliev. I'm going to go with Andre Puliev here. Not too confident in the pick because there is a power advantage for Ruziboyev, but it's just what I've seen of Ruziboyev. His striking is kind of you know? Like, it's not really technical. He is kind of a brawler, and I would worry if he mix up the grappling and try to land power shots, but I don't know. I'm going to go with Puliev. I think he's going to move around the back foot, do decently, and win like a close decision here. Like, I can see that happening, so I'm going to go Puliev winning like a 29-28 decision, and that's pretty much it. So moving on to the next one. Abdul Yakhyayev versus Julius Walker. I'm going to go with Abdul Yakhyayev because Julius Walker on the feet isn't really much. He is a big dude. I can see him maybe grappling some, but even I don't think he's going to get the grappling off. That's my main problem here. I think Yakhyayev is going to shove him off, land the bigger shots here, KO him in round 2. Well, not even round 2. I think even round 1, I think he could get a finish, like either subbing him or like TK TKO. Like Julius Walker is getting beat up a bit, and then he starts to give, and then he'll get finished pretty much. So I think that's gonna go. I think Julius Walker is gonna get finished in round 1, either by submission or a TKO victory. So moving on to the next one. Foreman Hazanov versus Eric Nolan. I'm gonna go with Eric Nolan here. Not too confident in the pick, mostly because Hazanov is pretty decent on the ground. He can take you down and keep you there, but it just, I don't know, with Nolan, I don't really know. It just sometimes when Hazanov comes forward, he kind of blitz in, and I could see like Nolan catching him with something which could rock him, and then he could get like a finish sequence off of that, and then go for the finish and KO Hazanov in like the second round. I think that's how the fight's gonna go. I think it's gonna be like a stalemate in the first round where like Hazanov is trying to take down Nolan, but like Nolan is keeping up a bit, and then in round 2, I think Nolan's gonna start getting his timing and catch him with something when like Hazanov is coming forward. So I think that's how the fight's gonna go. I'm gonna go Nolan knocking out Hazanov in the second round. So moving on to the next one. Albus Magomedov versus Michelle Jacek. I'm gonna go with Albus here. Yeah, I'm going to stick with Albus. I think he's a little bit better on the feet and can mix it up to the ground. And Albus did hold down Joe Pyfer for a whole round. So I kind of rate that a bit. Like, Albus is pretty decent. It's just his cardio is a little iffy. But I think Albus should get this done. Michelle Jacek is kind of simple on the feet. Nothing really too crazy. He could knock him out. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, in round 2, like, Albus is starting to gas a bit. And he could catch him with something. But I'm going to go Albus here. I think he's going to win a decision victory. A little iffy some in round 3 or 2. But I think he's going to get it done like 29-28 or like a 30-27 type of decision here. So I'm going to go Albus by decision. Now moving on to the next one. Ikram Aliskerov versus Bruno Ferreira. I'm going to go with Bruno Ferreira here. It's a little bit of an iffy pick. I'm not going to lie to you because Bruno Ferreira is kind of hit or miss. Kind of simple on the feet. I don't really know why I'm picking him. Why am I picking him up again? Oh, Ikram is kind of chinny. Didn't look that crazy in his last performance if I remember correctly, but he kind of dominated him, kind of. Like, he held him down, but like, it wasn't insane, you know? And Ikram, like, he KO'd like Phil Hawes, and he beat somebody else that wasn't really good. So it's mostly because I haven't really seen him beat anybody that crazy. But I can see Ikram getting his own, but I'm going to favor Bruno Ferreira, just doing a little bit more on the feet. Has a little more power, in my opinion. I think he probably will chin him in round 2. But I think he's going to be like a 2-1 decision. I think Ikram is decent enough to survive, but I don't know. Maybe a finish could hit. So that's pretty much it. Moving on to the next one. Asu Elmabayev versus Charles Johnson. I'm going to go with Asu here, mostly because every time Charles Johnson goes against somebody that's kind of like a short, stocky dude that could grapple, he always loses for some reason. So that's mostly my basing, and Asu is pretty decent on the ground. I could see like him holding down Charles Johnson, kind of having his way with him for a bit, and then like Charles Johnson kind of puts on him in the third. Looks decent in the third, but he didn't do enough in the first and second, and it's gonna be like a 29-28 type of decision here. So I'm gonna go Asu just kind of grappling him, winning a 29-28 decision. So I'm moving on to the next one. Nazim Sadikov versus Mateus Camilo. I'm going to go with Nazim Sadikov here, mostly because I do favor him on the feet a little bit more. The grappling might be a little bit iffy, but it's just Camilo, after the first, he can't keep up with the same pace. And I think that's where Nazim is going to start to put on Camilo a bit, like with the striking, and then start to put on him. Camilo is starting to gas a bit. I think he's going to get finished in round 2 or 3. I think that's where he's going to get finished because it's going to be more exhaustion based, and he can't keep with the pace he was keeping him around 1 type of thing. So I'm going to go Nazim finishing Camilo in the first, not the first 2 rounds, but 2 and 3. I think that's where he's going to find the finish. So moving on to the next one. Sharon Magomedov versus Michelle Pereira. I'm going to go with Shara here. It's weird because if you asked me about 2 years ago who would have won this fight, I wish that Michelle Pereira would have finished him in the first 2 rounds. But since Michelle Pereira has been looking mid lately, because ever since the Fluffy Hernandez loss, it's like he has not been looking the same since. Like, he's arguably losing to Zachary Reese, you know? But then again, Zachary Reese probably would have been tricky for Shara. But I don't know, man. At least Shara is winning, even though he's looking kind of mid too. But I don't know. I'm going to favor Shara here. I think he's going to win a decision here. Maybe Michelle Pereira's going to have struggles, so I'm trying to close distance. It's going to be that type of situation, I think. But I don't know. Maybe Michelle Pereira could pull it off, but it's just, I didn't like his performance against Zachary Reese type of thing. So I'm going to go Shara by decision. Moving on to the next one. Rafael Fiziev versus Manuel Torres. I'm going to go with Rafael Fiziev here. Not too confident in the pick, mostly because I can so see like Rafael Fiziev doing well until he's not type of situation. And that's going to hurt when like he loses. But it's just, I don't know. It's just Manuel Torres. He has power, but it's just, who is he really KOing really? Like, I know he KO'd Dober, which is kind of impressive, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know if like he's going to be catching Rafael Fiziev with the same shot. But then again, he does have a longer reach. It could happen, but
I don't know. I think Rafael Fiziev is at least decent enough not to get caught with that. Do his thing a bit, start to pick him, not pick him apart, but like start to get to him. I don't know, man. Oh, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I might go with Torres. I'm gonna lie to you. It's just like, I could so see him getting coated. I could so see like Rafael Fiziev doing well until he's not, and that's so annoying. But I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with Rafael Fiziev doing well. Well, maybe having troublesome early, maybe getting caught with a few shots, but he's eating them a bit. And then when we get to the later rounds, that's where he starts to pick up against Torres and get like a round 3 finish. I think that's how the fight's gonna go. I think he's gonna have troublesome early, but he'll start to do his thing in like the later rounds. So yeah, I got Rafael Fiziev by 3rd round finish by like, I don't know, breaking Torres or like catching with something to like finish him in a TKO sequence. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a little bit of a short one, but it's just I couldn't really think of anything else other than a prediction video of the full card. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. God bless all of you. Like and subscribe, and that's pretty much it. God bless all of you, and that's it.